Hi everyone, I'm Ash Kane and I'm here with
George Davison.
we're the team in Seattle. We're super excited to do the stream again from Seattle this week. Just a quick note before we jump into the top 10. It's pretty busy here, so if you hear some clicking, you hear some typing, that's us making beta. So can you guys hear us all right? Seems like we're pretty good. All right, fantastic. So with no further ado, let's jump into the top 10. This week, number 1 is beta in T-12. 12 days. This is a number that is frightening, exciting, and super important to everyone here. We are just under 2 weeks away from our original planned date for Beta 1 launch. Because of the unfortunate cost of implementing GDPR, we lost time from some of our most valuable developers, and that hurt. That hurt a lot. So we're down to the razor's edge. There's a lot we need to get done, and there's a lot we need to test. Mark wanted us to tell you that there are right now 19 critical path issues to get us to Beta 1. And we feel that we can actually make this happen. People are staying late, and people are coming on the weekends to make sure that we can accomplish this goal.
Number 2, testing. We're quickly approaching beta. Everyone in the studio has been helping to test the builds this week. Features and fixes are coming in really hot, so we have to make sure we don't miss anything.
Number 3, buildings. Almost every engineer in the studio has touched this feature. It has been all hands on deck. From small bug fixes and testing by Rob, to improvements to the plots by Matt, Caleb, and Christina, to rendering updates by George. This has been everyone. Updates include changes to how blueprints are formed and loaded, changes to persistence, and changes to how we are loading buildings into the game.
Number 4, plot tech. One part of updating the buildings has been that we've rethought the way that you determine where you build in the game. In Beta 1, you'll be able to explore and claim an arbitrary plot of land with an item from your inventory. This took work from Matt, Caleb, and even Christina and Andrew.
Awesome. Number 5, islands. So Tyler and Dion have been busy adding the final dressing and touches to the templates for the home islands. This requires a lot of by-hand work. I mean, it's very, very fiddly. It's not something you can just automate. And so the terrain and a lot of propping has gone into this. They're now starting the process of cloning those islands and making changes to those props and the terrains for realm variation. Ben has also been busy adding resource nodes to our terrain mods, so we'll be able to harvest resources from resource points that are spawned in the terrain mods.
Item number 6, NPC art. Joe and Scott teamed up this week to finish the outfits for our greeter NPCs. You'll see them scattered around the home islands. We're currently testing and finalizing the tech here, and we'll soon add these guys in.
Awesome. Number 7, crafting. So Christina and Mark have been busy adding the final touches to the Beta 1 Day 1 crafting system, configuring the raw materials and alloys, and hooking them up into the system. Expect a lot of changes addition to the system once we're in Beta 1.
Number 8, warbands. JB, along with Anthony and AJ, have been putting the last pieces of the warband system back together and updating the UI. Specifically, this is features like promoting another player to leader and granting permissions.
Number 9, art, animations. The last pieces of the planned character animations for the start of Beta 1 are coming together, with Scott and Sandra finishing up the last character class ability specific animations. We plan to use our remaining time wisely, improving current animations and getting some of the new class specific fidgets to give each class a little bit more character and uniqueness.
Number 10, more technology, server transitioning and stability. We've made a number of significant improvements to how we handle server transitions, load balancing, zones, and overall startup performance. Tim, Colin, and Mark have been working to get our overall architecture and netcode in a great place for beta.
Awesome. Number 11, tech, patching the patcher. So Dave has fixed a number of issues with the patcher to get us ready for a busy Beta 1, which means a lot of people all downloading the patcher and the client at the same time.
Number 12, UI. AJ has been shepherding some wonderful work by our mod squad into the UI to help fix some of the bugs you guys have reported. This is great because it helps make the experience better for all of our supporters.
All right, number 13, tools. Sadly, our support tools don't get enough love, but it's been a very busy week for Bolt, who has been implementing a series of tools changes to greatly ease our asset pipeline. Well, this won't mean much for Beta 1 Day 1. It's going to mean everything for the first 30 days of beta.
Number 14, progression. The final piece of the Beta 1 Day 1 progression was hooked up and tested this week. This includes the progression systems, the way skills grow, and how players are rewarded for practice.
Finally, number 15, art concepts. Michelle has handed over several different pieces of concept art at a rapid pace to support the art team. She's now working on finishing up some of the new images for the Patrick art. Wow, we really blew through that.
Yep.
So if you missed the beginning of the stream, I know it seems like we're a little bit quiet. I'm Ashram Kane, I'm the producer, and this is George Davidson. He's our graphics engineer guru. We are primarily going to be able to field questions about those two subjects, so client questions, or maybe production and scheduling questions, or maybe about how great the weather is in Seattle. We can answer questions like that, I think.
We are intending to make this a short stream because we need to get back to work for issues
beta.
as well.
All right, so I think we're going to be going right into the question portion. So Payson asks, Mark has opened up a thread looking for a lot of dedicated testers, but since then we have only the usual IT and sometimes alpha tests have been started. Any more info on that, or was the thread not yet necessary because there were already enough testers? I can answer that just right now. We're going to be sending out some invites to some folks very soon.
You heard it from the Brian.
Yeah, Brian is the best person to answer these questions.
Yeah, he really is.
All right, so Sacrix asks, with no feature lock now and adding right up to the endpoint, is this going to be polished enough for Beta 1? Was that not the reason for feature lock in the first place?
That's a great question. We are actually doing feature lock. We're doing it this upcoming Wednesday. This is our pushed feature lock date, and it is focused around a couple features that went a little bit long, and it's just to give us enough time to do exactly that, polish everything else, and really focus on getting a delivery that we're comfortable with and we feel has been tested and is well vetted. So Wednesday is our date for that, and we're working really, really hard to make sure that everything that goes in is well tested, it's vetted, we have polish, and we're really being considerate about our check-ins.
Payson asks, where was our morning with Max?
I don't know. Where was your morning with Max?
Was he
Max
up this
not on
morning?
this morning?
Okay, let's go on to the next one. Jarlgon asks, who will be running the Builders Brigade?
So the Builders Brigade is going to be a joint effort. I expect that you're going to be hearing a lot from JB and Brian in there. On the back end, a lot of the stuff that's going to come through is going to be on Tyler's plate. Not that he's not busy enough as it is. And I'll definitely be assisting out however I can when we get there.
Sacrix asks, what is happening with Coherent and the UI plus key binding for Beta 1?
Coherent is not going to make it in for Beta 1. There are a bunch of higher priority stuff coming in. I am working on getting a new key binding interface in for Beta 1.
Strike JK asks, do you want a 0.5 kilo pack of pure caffeine powder to stay awake for months?
Please don't kill us.
See, my only concern with that is, I think with the groups here, we may not have the willpower to not get into the pure caffeine powder, so that could be very, very dangerous and kill us.
And
so,
that's enough caffeine for like everyone in the office for 5 years. So.
That's that's literally every person who works here for a year, never sleeping. It'd be awful.
Odilvik asks, what do you see as the differences, if any, between CSE West and CSE East?
We're all part of the same team. We all work as part of the same team. I think the major differences are that they have a little bit more space over there. There's obviously a lot more people over there. They've got Mark sitting with them, which is just so awesome. And we're a little bit more kind of all kind of crammed into the same room, I guess is the word for it. So I think really that That's kind of the major difference that I see.
It's hard to answer questions.
I mean, they're on the
Specific
East
details.
Coast.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
The people over there have different names than the people over here.
Some different,
Different
names.
specialties.
There's a little bit of overlap.
Lots of the guys over here have been in the game industry a little longer, so
It's true.
we do a little more independent work. But they've all been working at CSE for longer, so they know more of the systems that they'll be working on.
That's fair.
Strike JKS, are the tents ready in the office for the weekend?
So we don't have any tents, but instead I decided, I'd do something for the team, and I got some shock collars. So if anyone falls asleep, I can just we can fix that right
Wait a minute, someone did say beta would be intense, though.
Oh, you dad joke.
Valor MH asks, any plan on a more robust / updated tool set / UI for Cube for Beta 1?
We have all sorts of plans.
In terms of the actual building experience in the game, that is getting some updates. The Cube standalone app isn't going to receive updates until we're really confident in the building changes that we've made, and we can deliver some of the other features that we're not talking about yet into that experience.
In beta, you will see some dramatic changes to the way building is done in the game.
Therid asks, can we expect a beta launch timeline for July 4th soon, or is that going to be published last minute?
I think in terms of the timeline, we're close. We're going to have to make any decisions on that pretty much at the end of the weekend next week when we reach our Wednesday lock day. That's going to be sort of that deciding moment. Where are we at then? What does everything look like? Are we happy with it? I mean, that's what it really boils down to is, Mark is a great guy. He knows fun. He knows games. And if he's happy with it, then we're going to go with it. If he's not, then we're going to take the time to make sure that we're delivering the best Beta 1. We don't want to just get this done and throw something at you guys and disappoint you guys. That'd be terrible.
We're just at the point right now where all the features are coming together and we can stand back and look at it and say, this is the thing that we're going to deliver.
Yep.
Sironsington asks, I haven't had a chance to read up on it again to clarify, but I heard Friday nights will be focused on testing crafting and Saturday nights on testing combat. Are these true?
I don't know. I think that was part of the original plan that was talked about some months ago before even I was here. But I think MJ is the best person to answer a question like that.
All right.
And he's always on the forum stalking you guys, so.
Let's see here. Sacrix asks, is there a chance Beta 1 could be delayed if it's on a razor's edge? Is there a judgment point where CSE will decide?
Yeah, like I was saying, Wednesday we're going to really look at where we're at and our level of polish and testing and what things really look like. And, it's going to be up to Mark and Andrew to make the kind of final decision on if they feel like this is something that can be beta.
Okay. Patch notes MH. Does Belgium win the World Cup in regular time or PKs?
I don't even know what those words mean.
Know what that means.
We definitely have some people who have been following the World Cup in the studio. I'm not one of them. George isn't one of them. I realized that it is a game of football that involves many nations competing over, I think, a piece of dishware, but I don't know. So, not. Is it not? Is that not what it is?
It is a cup.
Yeah, I would assume.
Odovic is asking for Hamble pants. Are pubs still planned to be in for Beta 1 Day 1?
Yes. So we want to give the Builders Brigade the opportunity to build these buildings and present these structures. As for what the functionality of the pubs is, right now they're just going to be dressed buildings, and we're going to have our greeter NPC in there. But this is just going to be the scaffolding for us to flesh that out throughout beta.
Odovic asks on behalf of Pest, will there be some amount of set testing time scheduled for Beta 1, in addition to impromptu or short notice? I can just speak to that first, just that we will have a schedule.
Yeah. There's going to be scheduling around that. I mean, no, we're just going to fake it. We're just going to fake it, guys. Yeah, no, there's going to be a schedule.
Tell our secrets.
Sacrix asks, is the server shutdown still planned as part of the progression for game?
I don't
You mean
know.
only doing progression when the server is shut down, like a
Yeah, how do you mean?
Sacrix, can you clarify that question?
Yeah, I don't follow exactly.
Odilvik asks, Zerton asks, how quickly do you foresee player crafters managing to become useful in the sense of creating better items than the presumed newbie gear? Will we be banging out rusty swords for a few hours or almost immediately be sought after?
So I think that for what we're going to have for Beta 1 crafting, you're going to see use if you're spending the time on it. Mark and Christine have done a wonderful job of implementing that part of the crafting system. So you will be able to make equipment based on recipes and then based on the quality of the ingredients that you use. And then as we go through beta, they're going to be fleshing that out and increasing it. So I think day 1, you'll probably be able to do some very interesting stuff. By day 30, I think that that's when we're probably going to see the more fleshed out version of it as we continue working on it. The specifics of like how that's working, I don't want to tip my hand just yet.
This is more of a design question.
Yeah, like for the progression of the tasks, yeah. Did we get a giant question?
1 sec.
I don't know. I'm torn because like I think that the setup is really really cool and I want to play with it, but at the same time, I don't want to ruin it for other people.
Okay, Odilvik asks, on behalf of Darrelgon, how big of an information dump can we expect, either right before or during Beta 1 Day 1 event? Are big reveals planned, or just what we have now, with slightly more access for those added into the beta testing?
You are going to get a variety of information about the beta before the beta, in the form of a beta manual, I believe.
Yeah, we're working on some documentation for that. As for like big reveals or what we're working on next, I don't know. That's really not a decision that I would get to make. I am working on putting on a schedule for what comes immediately after Beta 1 Day 1 and what our path through beta looks like. And I'm hoping that a kind of presentation of that schedule will be available, but that really depends on Mark and Tyler and everyone else.
Yeah, beta is less about providing cool information about our lore or our interesting systems, and more about testing the fundamental underlaying of all of those systems and making sure it all works with a large volume of players.
Yep.
Alrighty, Nanoluck asks, what is the current estimate for how long Beta 1 will run?
I don't have a number, I have some numbers, but that's a Mark
I
question.
don't know if we've revealed this yet. I think this is a Mark question.
Yeah.
Okay, Pex asks, any rough estimate on what the max number of folks will be allowed in a single order?
In a single org?
Order.
I don't know. I mean, that's more of a design question. Like, I don't think we're suffering from anything that would be a technical hard limit that I've been privy to. So I think it's more of a design question.
Yeah, I've heard some numbers, but nothing that I can rattle off the top of my head. So this would be a question for UI guys or Mark.
Yeah.
All right. So at this point, we can do some team intros from the folks on the Seattle team.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I was gonna say,
Brian.
but it's purely on a volunteer basis. We're gonna force anybody to do it. But I think first and foremost, we've got.
Here, I'm gonna get up.
Yeah, why don't you get up and actually get back to work?
Have a seat.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I'm an engineer.
This is Caleb. He's an engineer.
It's also my birthday today.
That's why we've been really harsh on him today. Like,
Hey, we need to sing happy birthday to Caleb.
Yes,
you
you not
do.
do that.
Guys, that's personally identifiable information.
Yeah, jeez.
Oh, right. We better take that down.
I could be
My
like
birthday
that.
is
June 22nd.
Oh man, who else? Who else is going to get an intro?
Matt, get in there.
Christina.
Joe, want
Get in here, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
I'll
we
say
got
that.
it.
Bye,
Got
Ron.
it.
I am also running the stream right now. But how's it going, everybody? I'm Brian, community manager, running the tests, and yep. How's it going?
Yep.
I'm on the stream. Hey, Sacrix, how's it going?
Thank you so much, Brian.
All right, cheers.
Hey. I'm Matt. I think I was on a stream a while ago from George's house back in the day, and so it's not my first time on stream. But yeah, I've been behind the camera typing away. You've been hearing me trying to help Brian out, answer questions and whatnot.
Yep.
So
And making beta.
yeah, and I saw somebody was asking about Christina. She doesn't want to be on the stream. We're not going to make her.
Yeah,
So-
we're a challenge by choice organization. We're
Yeah,
not going to force
exactly.
somebody to do something.
Exactly. So I'm going to duck out. Let Joe jump in here.
Come on, Joe.
You don't want Joe in
Am I
there.
the last one?
I think you're the last one. I mean, unless Colin wants to jump in.
You have to raise the camera up a little higher.
Oh, it's good. You're in the frame.
My name's Joe. I'm senior animator. Started here in January,
Yep.
right before you. And who else started in January? You did.
Yep, we started the same day.
So yeah, we're working away on beta stuff. And anybody else on the team?
No, I think the only
I think
is
the others have opted out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chosen not to be on screen.
Is he?
Okay.
He's opted out? All right.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Awesome. Pull George back in here. Oh my goodness. I think that is it. Sorry, we didn't listen to that. No, I don't think so. Yeah. Everyone else decided to do it.
Yep.
Awesome. So thank you guys so much for joining us for the stream. I know it was a little bit short. I kind of rushed through it a little bit, but we are kind of busy trying to get beta done. So I think we're gonna get back to work.
We'll see you in beta.
See you in beta, guys.
Thank you.